After 5 years of construction, the Verrazzano Narrows Bridge linking Brooklyn to Staten Island was finally open on November 21st, 1964. This was the first day that cars could make the drive. Among those passenger cars was a Pontiac Le Mans driven by Fred Silverstein. Jackie was sitting shotgun, with Natalie and 7-year-old Andrew in the back seat. The originals were making the short haul over the water from Brooklyn to Staten Island. Back then, Staten Island was wide open and ripe for development. Dad's dream was to create a whole neighborhood, 52 homes. He was calling it Silvertown Estates and moving us into the middle of the action. We'd be living in one of the first completed 2-family houses in the development. We'd be living upstairs, and downstairs would be Aunt Carol and Uncle Ernie and their kids, my cousins Jamie and Laurie. As we drove off the bridge and exited on Victory Boulevard, I craned my neck to look around. My little heart was beating like mad. I was excited but also wary. We were only a few miles from Brooklyn, but as far as I was concerned, we could have been on the fucking moon. Brooklyn was wall-to-wall apartment buildings. Staten Island was acres of empty farmland. Brooklyn had subways. Staten Island had cows. Silvertown Estates was still going up. Some of the houses were half-built. Some just framed. Others just cement foundations. Only half the streets were paved. Our house at 431 Canterbury Avenue was a beautiful 2-tone shingle home. The development was set in the middle of the woods. Just beyond that area, some 2,000 feet away from our house, was a giant brick tower next to a complex of big, old, ugly brick buildings. It looked like a penitentiary. "What is it, Dad?" I asked. "Willowbrook. It's a mental hospital." "What's a mental hospital?" "A hospital for people who've gone mental." "Crazy people?" "They come there for treatment." "And they lock 'em up?" "They're locked up till they get better." "And what if they escape?" I asked, feeling uneasy about these neighbors. "You don't got nothing to worry about, Andrew. Look around, sonny boy. Staten Island is paradise." I looked around, but my eyes went back to the ugly brick tower and those nasty-looking buildings. Crazy people. We were living down the road from an army of crazy people. Other than living in the shadow of a loony bin, I liked Staten Island. The wide open spaces made me feel free. I raced around on my first serious bike, a 3-speed red Stingray with a big banana seat, thick motorcycle handles, and a fat sissy bar in the back. Schoolwork still didn't thrill me. It never would. I was a third-rate student and a first-rate class clown. My favorite part of the school day were the fire drills. "They're great," I was telling Mom. "The teacher lines us up outside, and if you're not in a straight line, he punches you in the arm to get you back." "He what?" "He walks up and down like John Wayne and punches you in the arm." "He didn't punch you, Andrew, did he?" "Well, yeah, kinda, 'cause I was out of line." I realized I shouldn't have said nothing, because the next day Jackie Silverstein, dressed like she was attending the Academy Awards, showed up at school. When the door to our classroom opened, she walked through wearing her full-length mink coat. It was like she was making a personal appearance. As I said, my mom was a knockout, a dead ringer for Elizabeth Taylor. But you put her next to the real Liz Taylor, you'd think Liz Taylor was a skank. But more than beauty, my mom had charisma. When she walked into a room, it was like she had a spotlight following her. My teacher, Mr. Burketta, this tall guy in his 30s, he didn't have a chance. "I'm Mrs. Silverstein," she said. A hush fell over the room. I could feel everybody staring at her. She smiled, but I wouldn't call it a happy smile. This smile gripped your heart and made you shudder. "So Andrew told me you gave him a little punch in the arm. Is that right?" "It was just a little chuck." Mr. Burketta tried to look cool, but he mainly looked sick. He came over to me. "It was only a tap. I didn't hurt you, did I, partner?" "I know you would never hit my kid." That smile again, blazing cold, turning Mr. Burketta to ice. "I see that now that we've met. I just had to check." Then Mom flipped that smile over, changing it from giving you the shivers to warming you up. "Andrew told me you do a pretty good John Wayne." Mr. Burketta rotated his neck, hitched up his pants, narrowed his mouth, and walked bow-legged across the room toward Mom. "No way I'd ever hurt your little boy, ma'am," he said, channeling John Wayne himself. Everybody laughed, Mom the loudest.